Welcome to History Seekers, where history hides secrets waiting to be uncovered. Today, we journey to Scotland and look at one of its most iconic medieval landmarks, the Glasgow Cathedral, but more specifically, the Glasgow Cathedral Crypt. We are going to explore a theory that challenges everything we know about our past. Glasgow Cathedral, or St. Mungo's Cathedral, is one of Scotland's most remarkable and significant landmarks. It isn't just the oldest building in the city, it's also the most ancient cathedral on the Scottish mainland. We are told St. Mungo, born 518 AD, built a monastic cell and was buried there when he died in 603 AD, 613 AD, or 614 AD. The date is still debated. He is said to have been the illegitimate son of an alleged witch thrown from a cliff while he was in her womb. Baby Mungo somehow survived, the first of many miracles linked to Glasgow's patron saint. On the spot where St. Mungo was buried, now stands the cathedral dedicated in his honor. We are told this isn't the first cathedral to sit on this site. You see, Glasgow Cathedral was allegedly rebuilt multiple times, including after a fire in 1189 and again after a fire in 1197. The cathedral was also extended and repaired throughout the medieval period. The fire narrative always finds its way into these old-world structures. Coincidence? I think not. Just a side note, the medieval period, which is also known as the Dark Ages, ranges for about 1,000 years, starting around 470 AD up until the year 1400. I believe this is the period of time where we lost the previous civilization, the ones that were more advanced than us and had a deeper understanding of the world they lived in. Something happened around 1400, 1500, and from the years 1700, 1800s we started growing in populations and sectors, and then everything you can think of started to trickle its way through into society. This leads me on to the suggestion that the majority of this building is original and the construction and fire narrative has been scripted to help cover any questions about the skills this civilization and knowledge people used to possess. We are told a grand church was built over St. Mungo's shrine in the 12th century, but the church we see today is mostly 13th to 15th centuries. What I find really strange about this building is there is no architect, designer, or contractor or anybody who is named as helping achieve this. We are told that a bishop, Bishop Jocelyn, enlarged the first cathedral in 1181, but a fire stopped his work. Then another bishop, Bishop William de Bondington, finished the cathedral after Jocelyn's work was stopped. I will try to keep this serious, but can you believe this? The whole structure and building is credited to two bishops, who I guarantee didn't raise a finger during this time. But we are here to look at what is underneath the cathedral, the crypt. The building is composed of a lower and a higher church, with St. Mungo's crypt located underneath the lower church. Visitors can actually visit the site themselves and see the spot where St. Mungo is said to have actually founded Glasgow in the 6th century AD. The crypt of Glasgow Cathedral in Scotland has quite a few interesting features, including the tomb itself of St. Mungo, a holy well or natural spring, and even Hebrew inscriptions which supposedly can't be translated. Remember, this was constructed in the Middle Ages, a time when adults died from various causes, including plague, tuberculosis, malnutrition, famine, warfare, sweating sickness, and infections. A time when many babies, children, and teenagers also died. Common diseases were dysentery, malaria, diphtheria, flu, typhoid, smallpox, and leprosy. But during all this and so much more, the people living in this time, which is said to have only been 1,500 people in Glasgow, were solely focused on building and completing this shrine. Some historians dismiss these details as the handiwork of master stonemasons of the Middle Ages, or even a more advanced understanding civilization. Who were the people that built this in the Middle Ages when there was next to no people here, and the ones that were, had a very hard and short life? Then there's the matter of the craftsmanship itself. In certain areas, the stonework is so that it challenges our expectations of medieval technology. Smooth, meticulously finished surfaces and carvings that defy the rough-hewn style typical of the period hint at methods and tools that were possibly inherited from, or even developed by, a much older, more technologically sophisticated society. Another point which still remains a mystery is the presence of Hebrew inscriptions in St. Mungo's crypt. Theories range from the inscriptions possibly representing prayers or symbolic markings left by Jewish individuals who may have been buried there or visited the site for religious reasons, to possible graffiti or wording which was rushed, but the exact meaning and origin of these inscriptions remain unclear. Also within the crypt is an ancient well or natural spring. The crypt of the cathedral, in reality, is an extraordinary beauty of design and mason work, and the whole design of the lower church shows that whoever the architect was, designed it, with the spring to be included within the crypt itself. Another point to mention is a strong energy ley line runs along the church's main axis. In addition to the water flowing from a hidden spring under the tomb, these water paths also determine where the doors and other features are placed. From the outside, you can clearly see that the building is asymmetrical without an obvious reason. It's also clear that the saint's tomb and the shrine above were positioned to make the most of the site's power center, even though that meant not placing the high altar, which would normally be at the center. Many old churches and cathedrals across Europe were deliberately aligned with natural landforms, solstice points, and ancient pathways. Was Glasgow Cathedral's placement simply a matter of honoring a Christian missionary, or does it hint at a much older, forgotten tradition, one that predates even the earliest recorded history of Scotland? Throughout history, many Christian cathedrals and churches were constructed on top of pre-existing sacred sites that had been used for centuries, sometimes even millennia, before Christianity even arrived. These locations were often linked to ancient spiritual practices, ley lines, and geomantic traditions that earlier civilizations recognized as being significant. In Scotland, the pre-Christian Celts and Picts had deep-rooted beliefs in the sanctity of certain landscapes, with many hills, springs, and river confluences considered holy. We're going to go through some photos of this place, and I hope you keep a clear mind and look at these carefully. As we leave Glasgow Cathedral's crypt, I'm left with more questions than answers. The mysterious well, the ancient stonework repurposed from the original cathedral, and the cryptic Hebrew inscriptions, each point hints at a past shrouded in secrets and advanced knowledge. While these anomalies challenge the accepted narratives of history, they also invite us to dig deeper, question more, and seek out the hidden truths buried beneath time's surface. If today's exploration has sparked your curiosity, join us by subscribing to History Seekers, sharing your theories in the comments, and spreading the mystery. Until our next journey into the unknown, keep questioning, keep exploring, and remember, history is often more mysterious than it appears.